6 million feet of celluloid. That is the sheer volume of Apollo film sitting in the NASA archives. A sprawling physical record of the decade where humanity actually left the planet. People at the time saw the moon landing through flickering low-res 1969 television broadcasts. But 2 extraordinary documentaries show how the real history of the Apollo program was captured on film and then, for decades, forgotten. 2 films were built from this footage. They couldn't feel more different. The documentaries For All Mankind and Apollo 11 are both award-winning portraits of lunar exploration drawn from NASA's film vaults, but they differ sharply in structure and theme. For All Mankind is a poetic composite of all the Apollo lunar missions, while Apollo 11 is a real-time procedural focused on the most historic flight. L. Reinert's journey to make For All Mankind began in 1979 when he was reporting a story for the Texas Monthly. He was astonished to find that NASA had so much film that no one in the public had seen, much of it shot by the astronauts themselves. He spent the next 10 years in a sort of monastic retreat within the NASA Film Library, out watching the 3 major television networks combined. He eventually distilled those millions of feet into 80 minutes of sheer spiritual essence. 3 decades later, Todd Douglas Miller was also handed an extraordinary archival windfall. In 2017, as the 50th anniversary of the moon landing approached, staff at the National Archives located a cache of uncatalogued 70mm large format film reels. Miller's team digitized the reels at high resolution, and the result is footage of such clarity that it looks like something that happened last week. Thematically, the 2 films couldn't be further apart. For All Mankind is lyrical and contemplative. It ignores the timeline, blending footage from different missions into a singular composite journey. Coupled with a drifting ambient score by Brian Eno and a reflective voiceover by the astronauts, this film is a meditation on the fragility of Earth and the silence of the cosmos. It is an experience that asks you to float and ponder. Apollo 11, by contrast, takes a direct cinema approach, walking us through the mission step by step, countdown sequences, mission control readouts, live comms traffic. When warning alarms blared at the final moments before the lunar module touched down, my heart went into my throat. Despite their differences in structure and tone, the 2 films orbit and face each other, like the moon and the Earth. One puts you inside the mission, the other asks you to reflect on what it means. Apollo 11 is streaming on Netflix. For All Mankind is on the Criterion channel.